Do you ever feel like you're doing everything right? Choosing foods you've been told are healthy, yet some numbers on your health report just aren't budging. Maybe you're diligently picking what seems like a nutritious breakfast each morning, only to find your blood pressure stubbornly refusing to settle down. It's a frustrating reality for so many of us, especially as we get a little older and our bodies become more sensitive to what we put into them. We want to live vibrant, active lives, free from the worry of chronic conditions. But sometimes the very things we think are helping us are secretly working against us. It's like a silent saboteur hiding in plain sight, right there in our kitchen cupboards. The truth is, many popular breakfast choices, marketed as wholesome and beneficial, can actually be loaded with ingredients that spike your blood pressure, often without you even realizing it. In this video, we're going to peel back the layers and uncover 5 seemingly innocent, healthy breakfasts that could be doing more harm than good for your heart and blood pressure. You'll learn exactly why they're problematic and, more importantly, what simple, delicious swaps you can make instead to protect your cardiovascular health. Stick with me until the very end, because I promise you, there's something waiting for you that will truly surprise you. Let's start with the first item on our list, a breakfast staple many of us grew up with and consider the epitome of a quick, healthy start instant, flavored oatmeal. Now, I know what you're thinking, oatmeal, but it's full of fiber and good for your heart, and you're absolutely right about plain, traditional oats. They are fantastic. But the problem arises when we reach for those convenient, individual packets of flavored instant oatmeal, often adorned with pictures of berries or maple leaves. These packets, while undeniably quick to prepare, are a prime example of a wolf in sheep's clothing when it comes to your blood pressure. The first culprit hiding in these seemingly healthy packages is sugar, and often, a lot of it. Take a look at the ingredient list, and you'll likely see not just cane sugar, but often corn syrup, maltodextrin, or other forms of added sweeteners that quickly elevate your blood sugar. When your blood sugar spikes, your body releases insulin. And over time, this constant roller coaster can lead to insulin resistance, which is a significant contributor to high blood pressure. Think about it, a small packet might contain as much sugar as a candy bar, but because it's in oatmeal, we perceive it as healthy. Beyond the sugar, these flavored instant oatmeals often contain surprisingly high levels of sodium. Yes, sodium in oatmeal. It's used as a flavor enhancer, to extend shelf life, and sometimes even to make the oats cook faster. You might see ingredients like salt, sodium phosphate, or sodium bicarbonate. While one packet might not seem like much, if you're having it daily, and combining it with other hidden sodium sources throughout your day, it adds up significantly. High sodium intake forces your body to retain more water, which in turn increases the volume of blood in your vessels, putting extra strain on your artery walls and pushing your blood pressure higher. It's a vicious cycle. And let's not forget the processing involved. The instant part means these oats have been rolled, steamed, and pre-cooked to break down quickly, which makes them less effective at stabilizing blood sugar compared to steel-cut or rolled oats. That quick digestion means a faster release of sugar into your bloodstream. So, what's the actionable step here? It's simple: ditch the flavored instant packets. Instead, opt for plain, old-fashioned rolled oats, or, even better, steel-cut oats. These take a little longer to cook, but the difference in nutritional value and impact on your blood pressure is monumental. You can then add your own natural flavors: fresh berries, a sprinkle of cinnamon, a few crushed nuts for healthy fats, or a tiny drizzle of pure maple syrup or honey if you need a touch of sweetness. This way, you control the sugar, the sodium, and you get all the heart-healthy fiber without the hidden nasties. Your blood pressure will thank you for making this one small but significant change. Now, you might think that's surprising, but let's move on to another seemingly innocent breakfast choice that can secretly sabotage your blood pressure: the store-bought healthy muffin. These days, You can find muffins everywhere: coffee shops, grocery stores, even convenience stores, often labeled with wholesome-sounding names like bran muffin, fruit muffin, or whole grain muffin. They look so appealing, often packed with visible fruit or oats, giving us the impression that we're making a virtuous choice. However, the reality is often far from healthy. The biggest issue with most commercially prepared muffins, even those advertised as healthy, is their shocking sugar content. A single large muffin can contain more sugar than 3 donuts. This sugar comes in various forms: white sugar, brown sugar, high fructose corn syrup, all of which contribute to rapid blood sugar spikes. And as we discussed earlier, this constant fluctuation is detrimental to blood pressure regulation over time. Beyond the immediate sugar impact, this excess sugar is also easily converted into triglycerides in your liver, which can lead to higher levels of unhealthy fats in your blood, further complicating your cardiovascular health. But sugar isn't the only concern. These muffins are also often loaded with refined white flour. Even if they claim to be whole grain, often, whole grain simply means a small percentage of whole grains are mixed with mostly refined flour. Refined flours are quickly broken down into sugar in your body, contributing to the same blood sugar roller coaster we want to avoid. Furthermore, many commercial muffins are made with unhealthy fats, such as highly processed vegetable oils like soybean oil, corn oil, or canola oil, which are high in omega-6 fatty acids. While omega-6s are essential, an imbalance with omega-3s, which are often lacking in the typical Western diet, can contribute to inflammation in the body. Chronic inflammation can damage blood vessels and contribute to elevated blood pressure. And yes, just like the instant oatmeal, these muffins also tend to be surprisingly high in sodium. Salt is used not just for flavor, but also as a leavening agent and a preservative, and it contributes to the texture of the muffin. A single muffin can contribute a significant portion of your daily recommended sodium intake, quietly adding to the burden on your heart. So, what's the smart swap here first? Be incredibly wary of store-bought muffins, even those that appear healthy. If you truly crave a muffin, the best option is to bake your own at home. This allows you to control the ingredients entirely. You can use whole wheat flour or even oat flour. Reduce the sugar significantly or replace it with natural sweeteners like mashed ripe bananas or unsweetened applesauce. And use healthier fats like olive oil or coconut oil in moderation. You can load them up with real fruits, nuts, and seeds, adding fiber and beneficial nutrients without the hidden sugar, sodium, and unhealthy fats. If baking isn't your thing, consider healthier alternatives for a quick breakfast: a piece of whole fruit, a handful of nuts, or a small bowl of plain Greek yogurt with berries can provide satisfaction and nutrients without the blood pressure pitfalls. It's about being an educated consumer and understanding that healthy labels don't always tell the whole story. Next up on our list of seemingly healthy breakfast offenders is low-fat yogurt, especially those with fruit on the bottom or paired with commercial granola. For years, we've been told that low-fat is the way to go for heart health, and yogurt itself is often praised for its probiotics and calcium. However, when fat is removed from food, flavor is often lost, and manufacturers compensate for this by adding significant amounts of sugar. Take a look at the nutrition label of a single-serving low-fat fruit-on-the-bottom yogurt. You might be shocked to see anywhere from 15 to 25 grams of sugar per serving, sometimes even more. That's equivalent to 4 to 6 teaspoons of sugar, often from added sugars like high fructose corn syrup, cane sugar, or fruit juice concentrate. This constant influx of added sugar contributes to inflammation, weight gain, and insulin resistance, all of which are risk factors for elevated blood pressure. Your body's blood sugar regulation system is put under immense strain when it repeatedly deals with such high sugar loads. And over time, this stress can lead to hardening of the arteries and increased blood pressure. And what about that seemingly healthy granola often sprinkled on top? While oats and nuts are inherently good for you, Many store-bought granolas are sugar bombs in disguise. They are often baked with syrups, honey, or other sweeteners, and can contain just as much added sugar per serving as a bowl of sugary cereal. Plus, some granolas are also surprisingly high in sodium, used for flavor enhancement and preservation. The combination of high sugar from the yogurt and high sugar and potentially high sodium from the granola creates a double whammy for your blood pressure. We think we're getting a protein-packed, probiotic-rich breakfast, but we're inadvertently consuming an amount of sugar and sodium that our bodies just don't need, especially when trying to manage blood pressure. The actionable steps here are clear. First, choose plain, full-fat Greek yogurt. Yes, full fat. Emerging research suggests that the fat in dairy, when consumed in its natural form, may not be the enemy we once thought it was for heart health. And full-fat options are naturally more satiating, meaning you feel fuller longer and are less likely to overeat. The full-fat versions also tend to have significantly less added sugar, if any. Once you have your plain yogurt, you can sweeten it naturally. Add fresh berries, which are packed with antioxidants and fiber. A small amount of unsweetened applesauce or a few slices of banana can also add natural sweetness. If you want a crunch, make your own granola at home using rolled oats, nuts, and seeds, lightly sweetened with a tiny bit of maple syrup or not at all. You can also toast some nuts and seeds and sprinkle them on top for a healthy crunch without the added sugar and sodium. This way, you're maximizing the protein and probiotic benefits of the yogurt while minimizing the harmful effects of hidden sugars and sodium. It's about taking control of your ingredients and making conscious choices that truly support your blood pressure health. Now that we've discussed instant oatmeal, store-bought muffins, and deceptive yogurts, let's talk about another common breakfast that often gets a pass. But shouldn't whole wheat toast with processed spreads? For decades, whole wheat bread has been touted as the healthier choice over white bread. And in many ways, it is. It generally contains more fiber and nutrients. However, not all whole wheat breads are created equal, and what you put on them can turn a potentially healthy base into a blood pressure hazard. Many commercially produced whole wheat breads, especially those that are soft and fluffy, can still be surprisingly high in sodium. Salt is a crucial ingredient in bread making, not just for flavor, but also for controlling yeast activity and strengthening gluten. So, even if the label says whole wheat, it doesn't automatically mean low sodium. Some brands can contain 150-200 milliliters of sodium or more per slice, which adds up quickly if you're having 2 slices daily. Before you even consider the toppings, this hidden sodium contributes directly to increased fluid retention and higher blood pressure. Beyond the bread itself, the spreads we choose are often the biggest culprits. Take margarine, for instance. For a long time, margarine was seen as a healthier alternative to butter due to its lower saturated fat content. However, many margarines, especially the older formulations, contain trans fats, which are highly detrimental to heart health. Even trans fat-free margarines often rely on highly processed vegetable oils that can contribute to inflammation, a known driver of high blood pressure. But perhaps even more insidious are seemingly innocent fruit preserves or jams. These are often loaded with added sugar. A single tablespoon can contain anywhere from 10 to 15 grams of sugar. And who stops at just 1 tablespoon? This contributes to blood sugar spikes and the negative impacts on blood pressure we've already discussed. And then there are the nut butters, peanut butter, almond butter, etc. While nuts are healthy, many commercial nut butters have added sugar, and more importantly, added sodium. Check the label. Some can have over 100 milliliters of sodium per serving, turning a healthy fat source into another sodium contributor. So, how do we make toast a truly heart-healthy breakfast first? Be meticulous about your bread choice. Look for 100% whole grain bread, not just whole wheat or multigrain that is low in sodium. Ideally less than 100 milliliters per slice. Better yet, Consider sourdough bread, which is often made with fewer ingredients and can be easier on blood sugar. When it comes to toppings, ditch the processed spreads instead of margarine. Use a tiny smear of real butter if you prefer. Or better yet, a generous slice of avocado. Avocado is packed with monounsaturated fats and potassium, both excellent for heart health and blood pressure. Instead of sugary jams, opt for mashed fresh berries or a thin layer of natural, unsweetened nut butter with no added salt or sugar. You can also top your toast with a poached egg for protein, or some sliced tomatoes and a sprinkle of black pepper. The key is to read labels diligently for both bread and spreads, prioritizing whole, unprocessed ingredients. Finally, let's address another breakfast staple that frequently disappoints when it comes to blood pressure breakfast cereals. While the brightly colored, sugar-coated cereals are obvious culprits, I'm talking about the ones that seem healthy, the whole grain flakes, the bran cereals, the oat rings that promise heart health. These cereals often leverage clever marketing, highlighting fiber content or vitamin enrichment, making us believe they are a smart start to the day. However, a closer look at the nutrition label often reveals a shocking amount of hidden sugar and, crucially, hidden sodium. Even plain-looking oat or wheat flakes can be surprisingly high in sodium, which is added for flavor, texture, and as a processing aid. Some single servings can contribute 200–300 mg of sodium, or even more, before you've added milk or anything else. This seemingly innocent salt intake, accumulated daily, puts a continuous strain on your arteries and kidneys, pushing your blood pressure higher and higher. Beyond sodium, most breakfast cereals, even those claiming to be whole grain, are highly processed and contain added sugars in various forms. Look for words like sugar, corn syrup, malt syrup, dextrose, or fruit juice. Concentrate high up on the ingredient list. These added sugars contribute to the same blood sugar spikes and insulin resistance we've talked about, creating a pro-inflammatory environment in your body that is not conducive to healthy blood pressure. The processing itself also matters. Many cereals are extruded, puffed, or flaked under high heat and pressure, which can damage the delicate nutrients and alter the natural structure of the grains, making them digest more quickly and spike blood sugar more rapidly than eating the whole grain in its less processed form. You end up feeling hungry again sooner, leading to more snacking and potentially more unhealthy choices throughout the day. It's a continuous cycle that doesn't support sustained energy or healthy blood pressure. So, what's the best way to enjoy a truly healthy and blood pressure-friendly cereal? The answer is to move away from processed boxes almost entirely. Your best bet is to make your own breakfast cereal from scratch using whole, unprocessed grains. Think traditional rolled oats or steel-cut oats, as we discussed earlier, cooked with water or unsweetened milk. You can add a handful of unsalted nuts and seeds like flax seeds, chia seeds, or walnuts, which provide healthy fats, fiber, and protein. Fresh or frozen berries are excellent additions, bringing natural sweetness and antioxidants without added sugar. If you need more crunch, make your own homemade granola with oats, nuts, and a tiny bit of maple syrup. Then bake it yourself to control all the ingredients. Another fantastic option is a hearty bowl of quinoa or buckwheat porridge, which are naturally gluten-free and packed with protein and fiber, ensuring a slow and steady release of energy without the blood pressure spikes. The key takeaway is to prioritize whole, unprocessed ingredients and always read the nutrition labels carefully, looking specifically at the sodium and added sugar content, no matter how healthy the front of the box makes it seem. Your heart and your blood pressure will thank you for making these informed choices. So, we've talked about these 5 seemingly innocent breakfast foods that can quietly sabotage your blood pressure: the hidden sugars and sodium in flavored instant oatmeal, the calorie and sugar bombs disguised as healthy muffins, the surprising sugar content in low-fat yogurts, the high sodium and unhealthy fats in commercial whole wheat toast and its spreads, and the deceptive sugars and salts in many breakfast cereals. It might feel a bit overwhelming, realizing that so many things you thought were good for you might actually be working against you. But please, don't feel discouraged. This isn't about perfection. It's about awareness and making small, gradual changes that lead to big improvements over time. Remember, your health journey is a marathon, not a sprint. And every conscious choice you make for your body is an act of self-care and a step towards a healthier, happier you. The important thing to remember is that you have the power to take control. Swapping out a sugary instant oatmeal for plain rolled oats with fresh fruit, choosing plain Greek yogurt and adding your own berries, or simply being more mindful of the sodium and sugar content in your bread and cereal can make a profound difference. These aren't drastic changes. They are thoughtful adjustments that empower you to nourish your body and support healthy blood pressure without feeling deprived. Think of it as upgrading your breakfast routine to one that truly serves your long-term health goals. Every time you choose whole, unprocessed foods, you are sending a powerful message of care to your heart and arteries. It's about focusing on real, natural ingredients that come from the earth, rather than highly processed items from a factory. Your blood pressure is a vital sign, a whisper from your body about how it's coping. By understanding these hidden traps in your breakfast, you're not just avoiding 5 foods. You're gaining knowledge that will help you read labels, make smarter choices throughout your day, and advocate for your own well-being. Imagine waking up each morning, knowing that your breakfast is actively contributing to your vitality, keeping your blood pressure steady, and setting you up for a day full of energy and clarity. That feeling of control and empowerment is truly priceless. I encourage you to start with just one change this week, perhaps by choosing plain oats instead of flavored packets, or opting for fresh fruit over sugary jam on your toast. See how you feel, how your body responds. Small steps lead to sustainable habits. I'd love to hear from you. Have you been surprised by any of these healthy breakfast foods? What are your favorite blood pressure-friendly breakfast swaps? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights could help someone else on their health journey. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps our channel reach more people who could benefit from this information. Also, consider subscribing if you haven't already, so you don't miss out on our future videos, where we'll continue to share practical tips and advice to help you live your best life at every age. Remember, you have the wisdom and the power to make incredible choices for your health. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep thriving. Live your best life at every age.